was once at a Tech Valley competition that we saw him there. Brendan wasn't there, it was just the parents.
Oh, okay.
And,
So they were talking to you guys about
Brendan, you know, and his relationship with the kids on the team, and you know how special it was to him, and so it's cool. Those were good times. I miss.
yeah,
I
Charlie
miss
Girl
those
was
days.
very close to him.
Yeah.
There was a group of kids that year that were very close to him. Was Charlie Girl one of the boys? I can't remember.
How did you get in touch with him so far away?
Well, good question. So we're doing this, you know, alumni story, and I know that I met him at St. Louis. We chatted, and then I met him at IRI, and he always wanted to be a CyberKnight.
Yeah, he did.
And that will reveal itself. And I said, listen, I'm doing, you know, all this alumni stories, and I know you know.
He's an honorary CyberKnight.
Yeah. I said, would you like, you know, to say something? Oh, he said, I would love to.
Oh.
Okay, let's start from
I'm a 195 fanboy. I'm not quite a 195 student. So my name is Brennon Brimhall. I am an alum of Team 20 from Clifton Park, New York. I'm currently a BYU student in Utah. And some friends and I, this is the rookie season for 6844, and we've kind of helped put that together. So I guess I'm also affiliated with 6844, the Provo Times. I'm at Team 195 at the 2012 Connecticut Regional. You guys actually ended up picking us. It was kind of fun. And we ended up winning together. But my first real interaction that I remember with someone on 195 was in between the Alliance selections and our first quarterfinals match together. I met with Gino and I met with Charlie, and we had a great strategy meeting, and I just really knew that all of you guys were just top notch based on that one little experience there. So yeah, that was my first interaction. Would have been at the 2013 Connecticut Regional, and we needed a part. We needed something. Maybe it was a motor that we had burned out. I think that's what it was actually. And you guys are just really gracious and provided that to us. That was really kind of you. And I don't want to sound like I had negative experiences on 20, because that's not how it was. I really enjoyed my time on 20. But I was impressed with the way that you all interacted as family. Your team seems so cohesive and tight-knit and integrated. There was an intensity because you guys wanted to win, but you guys wanted to win together. You wanted everyone on board. And that was something that was unique. And, you know, in interacting with the team, I was just absorbed into that. There was no, he's on 20, he's outside the group. No. It was, he's on a team and we're on an alliance together. So we're part of this one big family. And that was extremely impressive. And that's kind of the sort of thing I hope to take and to apply on 6844 if we have the chances, to make sure that everyone feels like a family, but to not for 1 second lose any of that intensity, of that drive and that desire to win and to do well and to show the world who we're made of.
Well, Sandra even sent you a T-shirt. How did that?
That's how I had the T-shirt. I went to the Utah Regional for a couple hours, like I said. For whatever reason, I couldn't find my 20 jersey that day. So I go into my closet and I do find a 195 jersey. So I'm like, well, I've always wanted to be on 195, and I guess no one out here really knows them because, it's so far away. So let me just put this on. Well, I go to the regional, and, Utah isn't maybe the most competitive or the most thirsty place on the planet. Mm-hmm. And I hear gasps, and I turn around and people are whispering to each other, oh my gosh, 195 is at the Utah Regional.
Really?
Oh my goodness. Because if you have a low number like that, I mean, you're lucky to be in the 3,000s.
Right.
And so they're all like whispering to each other like, oh my gosh, such a good team. And in hindsight, because I didn't quite understand the season you guys had in 2016.
Right.
I think some people
Yeah,
may
we
have
made it to Einstein.
right, and so they're like, "Oh my gosh, 195 is here. This is big,
Hmm.
because we're gonna have like Einstein matches." And so that was kind of cute. And I walk around the pit and everything, and it just so happened that 987 was there. Of course, they're from Las Vegas, and so the Utah Regional is one of their local regionals.
Hmm.
And so I go up to them, and they always have impressive robots, and so I knew that I wanted to see them. Anyway, it was bizarre because they have a student who I had corresponded a little bit with when I was on Team 20, who had turned a programming mentor, and he somehow remembered me. I think it's because of our names. I'm Brennan, of course, and his name is Brandon.
Hmm.
And he knew enough to realize that I was a 20 alum and that it was weird for me to be wearing a 195 jersey. But his father saw the 195 jersey and just, said it was so fun that we had done so well together on Einstein. And I go, well, actually, I kind of have to backtrace a little bit. I'm a 195 fanboy. I'm not quite a 195 student. And we got talking actually about your team and about their Einstein experience, and they just had nothing but good things to say about you guys.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, I'm glad that I wore the right jersey today. And so I snapped a selfie and sent it to Sandra. And Sandra appreciated the selfie and was glad that I had a good time. But then realized that the jersey I was wearing was outdated. You guys had changed a couple of things, and she goes, "Nuh-uh, Brennan needs to have an updated 195 jersey." So at the regionals, Sandra delivered a jersey to my parents, and they then mailed it to me, and then I was able to have it. But that's how I got that 195 jersey, and it's still up in my closet. I wore it last Friday. For First Friday, I felt like as an adopted CyberKnight, I had the authority to wear the 195 jersey. It was kind of fun.
It was sent to
That's
you
right.
by the lead, Sandra. Can't be higher
That's
than
right.
that, right? Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
So yeah.
So that's a special T-shirt you have.
Not as special as the other one. Let me actually pull it out.
Okay.
I have two. I have the one I got in 2017. I have the one I got in 2014. The one I got in 2014 is pretty special because I have, like I said, I had such a great experience with the team that I insisted that they sign it.
Who signed that?
So I got Kyle Spalazzo, I got Damian Florian, I got Alex, I got Gino, I got
wow, yeah.
I got Kyle Berry on here, I got Gwen Gorman, I got Ben Herms, I got I think I already mentioned Kyle, I got Bailey Call on here. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is my.
You're the only one I know with our T-shirt with signatures. I'm not aware of anyone who have a T-shirt and signatures. Whoa, you are really, really a fan.
Like I said, I'm a fanboy. I get I get excited about my fanboy. That's right. Wow. So this 195 jersey means far more to me than the other one does.
That's sweet.
But at IRI, it was so fun because I really hadn't got a chance to interact with tons of 195 people because
I remember we were sitting there eating.
Yeah.
And you came over with your tray of food and you had 195 shirt on. And then I remember you're from St. Louis. And I said, come on down.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I was kind of apprehensive at first because I'm like, man, I had all these great relationships with people in 195, and Bailey Call isn't on the team anymore because he's at college. Damien still is. Megan Graham is awesome. She's off at school. But all of those core groups of people. But Charlie's younger sister, Lefkovich is the last name. Why can't Ellie? Is that it?
Yep.
I was kind of apprehensive. I'm like, I have all of these wonderful relationships, and they've all kind of moved on. But I knew Gino, and I knew the 195 reputation. That you guys are awesome. My experience with you, the reputation that I associate with your team is one of just nice people who love winning, who love competing, and who love helping everyone see that vision, if that makes sense. And who are kind of crazy good, crazy hours, crazy hard work, that sort of crazy. You're a bunch of addicts. I mean, you yourself you just said that this is basically the equivalent of another job for you. You don't even have a daughter who's on the team anymore, and you're still doing it.
Right. Yeah.
It's addictive. It's addictive, Tavone.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I remember wanting to say hi, and you guys had good seats actually too, which was how I convinced myself to get past my apprehension. They're new faces, but they had the same heart. They had the same heart. Good kids, good people, good parents. And in the case of some of the mentors, Damien, Gino, it was the same faces, and it was picking up right where I had left off.
Wow.
And that just meant the world to me. And so, 20 wasn't there. I'm kind of the person that can't sit still. I have to feel productive.
Right.
And so I had always admired Steve Pistillo, being on the internal Facebook group. I, saw some of the scouting things that you guys had cooked up, and I, was delighted to make his acquaintance. And I found that they were a little short-staffed on the scouting side of things. And so I said, well, I just would love to help. And so I ended up scouting with the team, and it was really fun. Not only to be scouting with such great people and feeling productive and everything and feeling part of a team again, but it was also a little nostalgic because when I was on 20, one of my roles was kind of spearheading the scouting process there. Just a win-win situation. And then...
And that's when I came over, or I happened to be
That's right. By.
And that's when I took your picture and posted on our Facebook that you from
That's
Team
right.
20, but helping scouting and stuff like that. And
then I commented on the picture, and you were pretty surprised that I could do that. I remember that conversation.
Yeah.
I said, yes, huh? I surprised Tavone.
Yeah.
Sneak under the radar there. That was my goal.
Part of our internal Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said something. You said that you always wanted to be a CyberKnight or part of a CyberKnight or something.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you said that, and then I said, well, if we win, you're gonna get to be in the group picture of us, and you're gonna get to be a CyberKnight, right?
I'm not sure when you guys were taking your picture. I offered to take the picture actually because I wanted to make sure that Gino was in there. And actually, I felt that it was one way I could help.
Yeah, actually, I remember after the first seed picked 118, we were hoping that maybe would get picked by the first seed. Well, when we did not get picked, we were like, oh man, this doesn't look good. So that's why when you said you always want to be a CyberKnight, and that's why I said, hey, listen, if we win, you're gonna get to be a CyberKnight. So, but at the same time, I remember that with that year game, the seed that are kind of in the middle tend to win a lot. So I was crossing my fingers, and it was just like one oh my goodness, we made it through this one. Oh, we made it through semifinalists. We made it through this. And oh my goodness. Do you remember? Did you remember when we won? We won.
I was
What was
so
your
excited.
reaction?
I was not as nervous as you were.
We cry like babies. Did you see us? We cry like
Oh,
babies.
I know you cried like babies. I'm not much of a shouter or much of a hooper, and so it was weird at the end of the day to realize that my voice was gone. It was a new experience.
Yeah.
And I was clapping. My hands are sore from all of the clapping and stinging. And it was great. It was great. I will tell you, though, when the tears came, is I offered to take the picture for Gino so he could be in there. And he said, absolutely not. And I go, oh, so you have someone else to take it? And he says, no. He says, Brennon, you need to be in the picture. And
I think that
just...
was me who said it. Was it Gino?
You might have said it. I remember Gino. I remember
really?
Gino who pulled me in. It may have been your idea. You might have convinced me too.
Yeah, because when you came and said congratulations, and we were about to do, people said, don't you go anywhere. You are going to be in the picture. You are going to
So
be
it was the
a
two of
CyberKnight.
you.
It was me. Yeah.
It was the two of you.
I kept my promise.
You kept your promise.
Yeah,
And that's
because-
when the tears started to come down. Because I don't think I mentioned this in our previous conversation, but yeah, I did want to be a CyberKnight. I wanted to be a CyberKnight so bad that in 2014, when I knew we weren't going to compete together, I drove myself and a friend down to Boston, where the district championship was. I drove to just to kind of see you guys and to hang out with you guys. I drove down to the Southington district event to hang out with you guys. And so for me, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm one of them. Because that's the thing that meant the world to me, is because I look up to you guys so much. Man, I'm starting to get emotional here, so I hope I don't cry.
Let it out, yeah.
I looked up to you guys so much.
Wow.
And it was almost a little bit of a hero worship. You guys are an excellent team competitively, but my interactions with the team, with individual team members, had just taught me that there's this grace, this poise, this gracious professionalism that you guys just exuded. And when Gino let me in, it was again that graciousness being extended, but in some way, it was, I'm part of the team. It's not that I'm this person who's looking, at you guys on this pedestal. It was, I'm with you.
You were among us.
I was among you.
Yes.
And that's when I started to just, I think I held it together for the picture, but afterwards I was just a mess. Because that had always been my dream. Yeah, that had always been my dream. So I had the issue where, I had no voice. I was sore from clapping and cheering. I had no sleep. And then I was crying because my dream had come true.
Oh. And what was your dream? The dream of being a CyberKnight.
The dream of being the CyberKnight. Yeah.
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 Wow.
There's a lot of passion I have for FIRST, but I have that passion for FIRST because I have such a passion for 195.
Oh.
That's really how it boils down.
Oh.
So.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me share that with you. It's pretty fun.
We love hearing that, and of course we're adopting you. Once a CyberKnight, always a CyberKnight. Right?
Yvonne, you're too kind. That's right. I don't think I deserve it, but when you put it like that, I mean that's true.
Oh, it's so nice chatting with you.
The pleasure is all mine. It is great to speak with you, Yvonne. So thank you for your time.
Soon.
I'm your biggest fan.
When you kill me.
No one I know puts on a show quite the way you can. I'm your biggest fan. So everybody Everybody stand up and give yourselves a hand. 'Cause I'm your biggest fan. One more time, y'all. We appreciate you being so good to us. Take care of each other. God bless America. One nation under God.
There was 2 years he was gone
Oh, really?
because right out of high school he had to go on his mission for his church, and the only thing we heard is he had a blog.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And so he was allowed to post what he was doing and how things were going with his mission on the blog. And so his mother would send those to me every time there was an update, and I read them, and every now and then I would respond back to Michelle a little bit about it. But it was just so encouraging watching him work so hard for his faith. And you just don't see that every day with kids. He's just so impressive in so many levels.
Yeah.
What a great kid. Wonderful family too.
And he loves one night.
Oh, we love him.
Yeah.
I wish he lived here. So
Yeah.
we put him on our team, but
We should come to our end of the year party.
oh, that'd be a
Yeah.
great idea. We should have him come down for that.
Yeah, we want to see that
Yeah.
cake fight on his face.
Yeah, you should definitely invite him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, he hasn't
Yeah.
been around the last few years. Is he back around here?
Yeah.
Well, no, he's out.
Because he usually does some
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Or I think he goes back to Utah. So.
Yeah, I'll check with him and see where he's at. Thank you.
Yeah, isn't that a nice?
Well,
Oh my gosh, that was so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah,
So
the thing is,
What a sweet
Sandra
kid.
and I have been doing this this is our 12th season, I think it is.
Yep.
And, you know, like you now, we haven't had children on the team for 8 years. And seeing stuff like this just reinforces why we're still here.
Right.
You know, it's not just to teach kids about engineering or
That's part of it, but it's more about the
Yeah.
relationships.
I mean, this kid has a memory of his life,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that he,
That's why when
Just-
the parents freak out when they start a cake fight inside the house, like 2 hours of cleaning is worth a lifetime of memories.
I was born in 2
You know?
hours. It's like a year later, I'm still
But
finding
these-
cake.
This lifetime of memories,
That's
right?
right.
These wonderful, fun memories, and
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know?
And his dream came true.
Mhm.
He was among us.
Yeah. Well, we're very blessed to know him too.
Yeah.
He's been wonderful.
Yeah. So whenever when the world beats you down,
Yeah,
when
Yes,
you're feeling
that
down and
is,
low,
you were
come-
right. That's
come and watch
very
this video.
yeah.